and welcome to a day in the life, cozy, chatty kind of vlog. This isn't my usual content. I haven't done a vlog for ages. I used to do weekly vlogs, I used to do daily vlogs. Haven't done vlog content for a really long time. There's so many little bits that I want to show you. I want to chat about some books. I want to show you some amazing bargains I picked up in TK Maxx. I just thought I'd make a little different chatty kind of vlog. Loads of you have been saying, please can the book content come back? But to be honest, the main reason I stopped doing the book videos, I think I let work and social media and just day-to-day life take over again. So I decided to really push myself back into reading because it really does help me, and it's just a huge escape. So good for your mental health to just put your phone down now and again and read a book. So I did get back into it. I have read a few books and I am going to bring the book content back, hopefully with a bang this year. So this video is a chat about the books that have got me back into reading after my slump, after feeling like I wasn't really interested or didn't have the time to read. I've got a dog asleep on a blanket over there. I'll show you him. Let me show you the dog snoring. He's sitting there with the blanket. Hops. Let me get my tea. Oh, I've just dipped my plant leaf in. I hope it's okay. I've got a little pineapple plant in the background. So yeah, I really enjoy the book content. I really want to take my channel to a different level this year. I want to do so many new things with it. I've got a lot of ideas. Some of them are a little bit scary for me, so it's not all going to be coming at once. It's just little steps really to put the joy back into what I do. So I'm just going to talk you through some of the books that have got me out of this slump and that I've been loving or not loving. This tea smells so good. I've actually got the box down here. I don't like herbal tea. There's something else I'm trying to do this year is drink more herbal teas, maybe less coffee during the day especially. I don't sleep particularly well. I'm trying to eat better. I'm researching into the effects of sleep on the body. I'm researching into the effects of different foods have on the body, and I know I consume too much caffeine, especially if I have trouble sleeping. I don't like herbal tea. I think it tastes like, well, the last one I had, actually a Twinings one, tasted like mushrooms, and it was supposed to be chamomile. It's disgusting. Don't like it. Always think no matter what one I have, I'm not keen on. I got these in Aldi. Just need to block my face out. They're called Diplomat, and they are the Relax Sleep with vitamin B3. And it's got passion flower, chamomile and apple, and it says our expert caffeine-free blend to help support normal sleep. These are about £1.20, £1.10 for 20 bags. They're absolutely delicious. They smell and taste a little bit like strawberry laces, you know, like the like child's jelly sweet. They taste like those. So if you like herbal tea, or if you don't like herbal tea, try these from Aldi. They also do a digestion one with ginger in, which also I really like. So this is what I've got here, a cup of black tea, which I'm just going to pop down here. So get yourself a nice warm drink or whatever you feel like having. Let's chat about some books. So the book that got me out of my reading slump of probably around 10 months to a year is not going to come as a surprise to a lot of you. If you are readers, you will have heard of it, and it is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Now, I read this on holiday. We went away in October and I took this with me, and a lot of people on Instagram said, don't read Verity on holiday. It's very dark and it's not really holiday vibes, which it isn't, but I was hooked. Honestly, I could not put it down. I would lay there. The first minute I got on that sun lounger in the mornings, I'd get myself a drink and I would open my book and I would just be absorbed. So Verity follows the story of Loan, who is a struggling writer. Her writing isn't very financially viable. She's not going in a good direction with it. And she meets this guy called Jeremy, who is the husband of a really big popular author, one that she's heard of, one that she's read all of her books from. And this guy, Jeremy, approaches Loan and says, look, I need someone to finish writing my wife's series of books that she's writing. She's no longer physically able to finish this series, and I need a writer to come in and kind of ghostwrite it. So Loan thinks about it. She's not going to do it. And then she thinks, well, I've got no money, no prospects, what have I got to lose? So she goes to stay in the house of Jeremy and his wife Verity, and she gets full access to Verity's study where all of her notes and things are, and basically she's going to go through all her notes and finish writing this series. Whilst Loan is in the study, she discovers a manuscript that Verity has been writing that no one has ever found. It was hidden and no one's ever read it. So she decides to keep this manuscript hidden and just continue working on the series, working through the notes for the series she's supposed to be writing. However, as she spends longer in the house, she starts to get more complicated feelings towards Verity's husband Jeremy, and she starts to believe that maybe if she shares the hidden manuscript with Verity's husband Jeremy, it could actually do Lowen some favours. And it's gripping, it's psychological, it's spooky. Honestly, I don't really get jump scares in books because I read very fast and I often skip to the end of the page before I've even read what I'm reading, if you know what I mean. My eyes just fly down pages and I often spoil things. So much so, when I get to the end of a chapter and I know something's coming up, I put my hand over the bottom half of the page. Does anyone else do this? Let me know in the comments, because my husband thinks I'm crazy. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like this, like reading down the page, because I know that my eyes...
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, I'm sorry, Siri. Can you just get out of the conversation? Yeah, and he's like, what are you doing? And I know that my eyes are just going to flick down and I'm just going to quickly take in the spoiler. So I do that, but so many times in this book, I was just reading, I was like, oh my goodness, and it gave me chills, it raised goosebumps. If you like thrillers, I highly recommend Verity by Colleen Hoover. It's been likened to Gone Girl and Flowers in the Attic, which are two of my absolute favourite books. Flowers in the Attic I remember reading as about a 12-year-old, maybe even younger. Absolutely loved them. I loved Gone Girl, and also on my must-read for this year is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I've seen the Netflix adaptation. I'm desperate to read the book, so that is definitely on my TBR for this year. But yeah, if you're in a slump, if you haven't read for a while, if you like thrillers, even if you don't, if you just want something a little bit twisty, turny, that's going to keep you guessing until the very end. And I believe that Colleen even wrote an extra chapter that I think you can find on TikTok, so maybe look into that. Yeah, I think she may have even released an extra chapter in another book, but even if you never read the extra chapter, it was amazing. I loved it. I was blown away, I was captivated, it was suspenseful, it was thrilling, it made my arm hairs stand up. So that is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Highly recommend. And if I was going to give star ratings, which I'm not overly keen on doing, it would be a 5 out of 5 for me. So the next book I read was called The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This was another psychological twisty thriller, and oh my goodness, it was another one that packed such a punch. So we are following Millie, who is a housemaid. So she goes to work for this woman called Nina, who has a husband and a daughter, and she basically wants Millie to cook, clean and look after her daughter, take her to school, pick her up, all that kind of thing. So Millie goes to work in this house, but she soon starts to find Nina is really odd. Like, she'll make a mess specifically for Millie to clear it up. She will tell her lies about her own daughter so that Millie messes up and does things that could be dangerous towards her. She tells lies, she hides things and says that like Millie's stolen them or Millie's moved them, it's her fault that meetings get cancelled. And every night Millie has to go up to the top of the house in the attic to this tiny little bedroom, and that's where she basically has to spend her time when she's not working. It's not until one day Millie realises that the bedroom only locks from the outside that things might not all be as they seem in the house. This was so good. Again, if you like twisty thrillers, I highly recommend it. Frida McFadden has since brought out a second book in the series. I think it's literally just called The Housemaid's Secret. The Housemaid's Secret, which I haven't read yet, but it's on my to be read list definitely. This was so good. It gripped me from the start. The prologue was gripping and I needed to know what happened, and from there I was just like, what is going on? We've got Nina's husband who just seems to be broken more and more each day, and you can't understand why he's putting up with this wife, and why he can't see what she's doing and how she's behaving. And when you realise that Millie is in this bedroom and that someone's got a key and Millie can't get out if the door is locked from the outside, I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to say any more than that. I would say that there were parts of it I thought were going to be predictable, and I was like, oh come on, really? But then it would twist again and I was completely thrown. So although sometimes the reading seemed very simple, it was good because it kept me engaged. The book kept me engaged enough to keep going, but it was simple enough that I wasn't like overly taxed. I was on holiday, you know, I didn't want to be thinking too hard. I loved it. Another 5-star read from me. I cannot wait to read the second one. And just thinking back now, I don't think I've read anything as good as those two since. So after The Housemaid, and I will leave all these linked down below just in case you want to check them out. So after The Housemaid, I picked up another Colleen Hoover. It's her bestseller, I believe. It's the one everyone talks about. And it's very cliche. If you're going to read a book, you're going to read this. But because I loved Verity so much, I thought I needed to try the one that everybody knows of Colleen Hoover of writing, which is, of course, It Ends With Us. She's also since brought out the sequel, which is very cleverly titled It Starts With Us. And I've also got that. I think I'm halfway through that, but it's not gripping me as much. So It Ends With Us definitely has trigger warnings. It deals with domestic abuse, so be aware of that before you go into it. So we follow the story of Lily Bloom. This is probably the one part of the book I really couldn't get on board with, because Lily Bloom is a florist. I mean, what are the chances? It just seemed very strange to me that she happened to be called Lily Bloom and her heart's desire was that she wanted to be a florist. But it follows Lily Bloom and her life as she meets this guy, this really top surgeon, and his name is Ryle, which is another one I'm not really sure that I'm keen on. I think to do this book justice, I'm going to read like the blurb from the actual back of the book. So it says, Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town where she grew up and graduated. She moved to Boston and started her own business. She feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named Ryle Kincaid, and everything in Lily's life seems too good to be true, because obviously she's a florist with the name Lily Bloom. Ryle is assertive, stubborn, and maybe even a little arrogant. He's not a little arrogant, he's a lot arrogant. He has a total soft spot for Lily. The way he looks in scrubs doesn't hurt. Lily can't get him out of her head, but Ryle's complete aversion to relationships is disturbing, and even as Lily finds herself becoming the exception to his no dating rule, I mean, arrogant personified, he has a no dating rule, she can't help but wonder what made him that way in the first place. So as questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas Corrigan. I don't know where she found these names. He was her kindred spirit, her first love, and a link to the past she left behind. When he reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. It's okay. I would probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. I did enjoy reading it. I was entertained, and I did buy the second book, but that was mainly because I was on holiday. I was in a Colleen Hoover bubble and I was just like, I must read the next one. But I got halfway through It Starts With Us and I put it down for something else. So if I stop reading a book and think, oh, I'll go back to it another time, it's definitely not gripping me. I know it gets lots and lots of 5-star reviews, so can we not fall out over this? I still want to be friends if you loved it. And I did love it, because I must have done to buy the next one, or, you know, the sequel. I want to know what happens, but I wasn't overly invested. I wasn't gripped. But definitely very difficult. Maybe that's why. I suppose I was reading it on holiday and I wanted more light-hearted. It's not very light-hearted, obviously. But yeah, I would say that it's worth a read, but I wouldn't like go all out to recommend it. So I have got the second one. I will let you know what I think when I finish it. So I have got a couple of autobiographies as well. So another one we might fall out on. I don't want to be controversial, and no, it's not the new Harry book, because everyone who says they're going to be controversial holds up the new Harry book. Don't really have any interest in reading that, so we'll just leave that one there. This is, I read the autobiography Will by Will Smith. Always been a huge fan, always. I'm not going to get into Slapgate, Chris Rockgate, you know, it was a thing. Celebrities, there's obviously a lot of pressure when you're famous and you're under that much scrutiny, and I don't know, rightly or wrongly, you know, he did what he did. But before he did what he did, I was such a huge fan. I've always been a fan. I remember dancing on the tables in a nightclub to Boom Shake the Room back with my brother. It was like our jam. This was our childhood, like growing up. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince was literally my childhood. We used to cruise around in my brother's car. He thought it was all that, and it just brings me such happy memories. So anyway, I wanted to read his autobiography. I absolutely loved it. I found it so interesting. It was really well written, and I know he had a huge team of writers to help with it. I just really found it interesting. I really liked how he had become famous. I liked hearing his story of how he started off as just one of the kids on the block, and you know, got into the music scene and the rapping scene, and then how he became into acting and how difficult that was for him, and then the stories of his loves and his children, and how even his children's lives are under the like media spotlight. If you are a fan of Will Smith, or if you were a fan of Will Smith, or if you've ever just wanted to know more about his life. I highly recommend it, and there's a few little excerpts in there that we still use to this day. There was one part where he talks about his dad building a brick wall, and he told his dad that he was never going to get this brick wall finished, and his dad said to him, don't look at the whole wall, just keep building one brick at a time. And then he said eventually he did that, just one brick at a time, and eventually the wall was finished. And I use that all the time when I'm talking to my kids now. Whenever they say they can't do something or something's too much, I always bring out the Will Smithism, and I'm pretty sure it didn't come from him. Everyone's always done the only look at the first step, don't look at the whole staircase, just look at the first step. You know, I know that that's not by Will Smith, but the way he put it with the whole building the brick wall thing just stuck with me. I really liked it. I would recommend it if you can stomach Will Smith after Slapgate. I highly recommend it if you like Will Smith or you used to like Will Smith. I don't know, I just feel like everyone's going unsubscribe. But I'm not reading Harry, so yay me. So the next book I read was called 9 Perfect Strangers. If you have Amazon Prime TV, you may have seen it. It stars Nicole Kidman, and I watched half the series, and funnily enough didn't finish watching it because I kind of got lost where I was. But when I saw the book advertised, I was like, oh, I'm going to read the book, and I really enjoyed it. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. So it follows this woman who has a wake-up call. Basically, she's overweight, she's overworked, she smokes, she drinks, she has a heart attack and basically dies. She gets brought back to life, and she decides to completely change her life around, and she opens up this wellness spa and retreat, and these 9 people are on this waiting list, and they come to this retreat, and it follows the individual story of each of these 9 guests and how this lady decides to try and change their lives. We find out after a few chapters that maybe she's not using the most conventional methods. It's by Liane Moriarty. I don't know if Liane Moriarty is the way you pronounce it. She wrote Big Little Lies, which also stars Nicole Kidman, the same as 9 Perfect Strangers. Big Little Lies is one of my absolute favourite TV series and books, so I had to read this. I loved it, and yeah, I'd really recommend it. If you like Liane Moriarty's style of writing, recommend 9 Perfect Strangers. So the next book I read is called Neon Gods, and this is by Katie Robert, and it's a retelling of the story of Hades and Persephone, but with a real modern twist on it. I mean, Hades and Persephone and Zeus and Demeter and all the different characters that you would normally associate with Greek mythology are actually on social media. They have like Instagram, Twitter, they have internet, they have phones. Yeah, they are still gods, but they are also living in like a parallel universe kind of thing. So it's quite clever. I will say it is spicy. If you are not into pure, heavily described sex scenes, this book is not for you. It's a scorchingly hot modern retelling of Hades and Persephone that is as sinful as it is sweet. So society darling Persephone plans to flee the ultra-modern city of Olympus and start over, far from the backstabbing politics of the 13, of which her mother is one of them. That's all ripped away when her mother ambushes her and basically says, hey Persephone, you're going to marry Zeus. Now apparently Zeus has had several wives and none of them have ended up alive. So basically he gets a wife, bores of her, and the rumours are that he kills them. Persephone's mum, Demeter, says, right, now you're going to marry Zeus because it's going to look good on me. Persephone says no way, so she runs. So she flees from Olympus to the Undercity, which is like on the other side of the river that no one's allowed to cross. Apparently it's very painful to cross, you're not supposed to cross it. But she flees anyway, straight into the arms of Hades, who kind of isn't as bad a guy as we all think he's going to be. That's not a spoiler, it kind of becomes apparent from the first few like chapters. You know, he's spent his life in the shadows and he's mortal enemies with Zeus, so when he finds out that he could maybe get back at Zeus by holding Persephone hostage on his side of the river, he's like, yeah, I'll take that. And then obviously the two of them are trying to both get back at Zeus, and one thing leads to another, they become more than friends and blah blah blah. That's kind of the gist of it. It's for romance fans that are looking for a slightly darker romance. I do love enemies to lovers. If you like modern day retellings of Greek mythology and that kind of thing, then this book is for you, as long as you don't mind the sex scenes. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. maybe a 3.5 to 4, 3.75. So last but not least for the book chat, and I do have a book haul coming up because I generally do read on my Kindle or on my phone using like a library app, but I have bought quite a few books recently in either paperback or hardback, so I'm going to do like a book haul because I also got some for Christmas, and I just really like reading a proper copy of a book. The book I am currently reading, and I'm reasonably far through, I'd say 2/3, is Tom Felton Beyond the Wand. I feel like if you are a Harry Potter fan, or even if you're not and you just like the actor, then you are going to want to read this book. I am really enjoying it. Really simple read. If you're not familiar with Tom Felton, he played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter films, and this is basically his story of how he got the part, how it was growing up on set and being a child actor. And like I said, I'm probably actually more like 3/4 of the way through. I'm literally here, that's all I've got left is this much, so I'm hoping to finish this really soon and give you my like complete review in another video. I'm just enjoying it. It's so simple to read. There's a few nice pictures in there. There are very few books out by the cast of Harry Potter, and here's some of the photos inside, and there is a foreword by Emma Watson which is absolutely lovely, but look at all the photos in there. It's really interesting to get a little bit of an insight to what it was like growing up as an actor on that set, and the characters he met. He talks about Robbie Coltrane and Alan Rickman, and if you're a Harry Potter fan then definitely recommend it. Those are the books I've read recently. The book that got me out of the reading slump, which was Verity by Colleen Hoover, and I'm not going to go on like a TBR or what I'm going to be reading soon, because I'm going to do that in another video where I do a haul of all my books that I've bought, and then I'll let you know what I'm going to read. I think I'm going to snuggle up and try and get a few more pages of this read and see if I can get it finished before I start on one of my others that I'm so excited to read.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today, and I will leave my windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking and the wind blowing in the trees. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day. I'm gonna let the past be filled with smoke, and I will try to fix what has been broken. Take this weight off my shoulders, cause I know yesterday ain't coming back. I'm gonna let the past stay in the cold. I will listen to the ocean, let its unsaid words be spoken, and I'll let my mind be carried by the waves. Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Try to spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way.
So let's get on to some bargains, because I know you all love a bargain. I love a bargain. You can see some of my bargains in the corner. So I went to TK Maxx about a week ago, so we're talking around 20th of January. And TK Maxx aren't really a shop that do a lot of sales, but when they have one after Christmas, they tend to get rid of everything really, really cheaply. And you do have to sift through it. It's a bit like, if you're not familiar with TK Maxx, or our TK Maxx has HomeSense and TK Maxx together. They do clothing, they do candles, they do homeware, they have like a little food section with all different weird and wonderful food bits. They do a lot of kitchenware, bedding, all designer brands, but at lower prices. I think even their tag is designer brands, probably lower prices. I'm not really sure. I know it's something about designer brands at high street prices, something like that, I'm not sure. Anyway, I went into TK Maxx, got some bargains. I'm going to show you. I'm going to start with this because it's over in the corner there, but TK Maxx do the best like wrapping paper. This is a Christmas wrapping paper. It has dinosaurs on and it says Tree Rex Raw Santa Claus. But TK Maxx wrapping paper generally tends to be such good quality. This is by a company called Jingles and Joy. I cover my face. Jingles and Joy. And it's a jumbo roll of heavyweight gift wrap. Now this wrapping paper is almost like wallpaper, it's that thick, and you won't be able to see it on camera, but it is also embossed with tiny little snowflakes. I don't know if you can just about see. Basically it was £7 a roll. I got it for 70p, so very happy with that. I'm really sorry, the snoring's got worse. So I'm obsessed with my candles. Bear with me on this one, there is method to my madness. So I went in one day and then I went back the next day. Is this the first or the second? This is the first one. So I picked up a candle. I'm obsessed with candles. I burn them every day. I have them around the room. I think it's so cozy. I just love coming home, lighting a candle, getting a cup of tea and a blanket and just snuggling. This is one of the DW Home candles. Now I know this is a pumpkin. This is pumpkin butter and it smells absolutely amazing. So it's got the little candle in there, and when I say little, this is over a kilo. I think it says it's 1.112 grams, 39 ounces, yeah, 1120 grams. There's over a kilo of candle. It's as big as my head. Like it's huge, it's massive. I could actually hide my entire head behind it, so it's really big. This has a tag on the bottom. I don't know if you can see the tag on the bottom. Basically £29.99. These candles, I saw them in there at Halloween, £29.99. I got it for £3. £3. I mean, you just can't leave it there for £3. So we've got a pumpkin butter hand poured, handcrafted DW Home candle from £30 down to £3. So I've got a lot of spare paint. I'm going to paint it. I've got this colour. This is Urban Decay. So I've got Urban Decay. I've got Chic Shadow, which is the lighter grey. I've also got white, and I've got a spray can of rose gold. I'm going to paint it. I might do it in a dark grey, so then I can have it in here on the shelf, like contrasting. But I might spray some of it rose gold. I might tape off the top, do the top one and do the bottom the other. I'm going to paint it. But I actually quite like the colours of it anyway. Don't really go in here, they would in autumn, but £3, I mean, you can't go wrong. So rather than me standing up because I'm lazy, went back the next day with my mum. They had one more of these candles left, exactly the same. Let's pretend I've walked over to the shelf and picked it up. £2. They had taken another £1 off. In fact, I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not going to have people saying that there's no way I got such a bargain and I'm just showing the same candle twice. I got two. This one was £2, this one was £3, £5 for 2 kilos of pumpkin. I'm probably a little bit too excited, but if you could smell them, they're autumn. They're just autumn. They just smell good. £2, DW Home, £3. Gonna paint them, they're gonna look good. Very excited. We're gonna stick to the candle theme, bargain candle theme. This one, did we find out how much it was? This was £12.99. This actually smells better than those. If you could just put cinnamon gobstoppers in a jar and sniff them, that's this. It's really, really pretty. It's another little pumpkin. It's kind of like a rose gold underneath, you can see, and it's a pumpkin, but the lid was broken. Now that is sad, but I'm either going to glue something over the top because I really like the colours. I'm either going to glue something on the top, or I'm just going to get rid of the lid and burn this beautiful, got wax everywhere now, 2-wick candle, which should have been, like I just said, £12.99. It was £2. Look at the bargain. Even if I just burn this lovely 2-wick candle, it's going to last hours and hours and hours because it's like a £13 candle. Don't even need to paint it. And the best thing is, this is the perfect plant pot. I reuse any candle pot. That's what I was going to say with these ones. These, vase. Absolutely perfect for a vase. Next up, my husband hates cushions. I have a cushion. Where's my cushion gone? I've got a cushion on the floor there. We don't have a lot of cushions. Hello. We don't have a lot of cushions. Couldn't leave this here for the price. So this is a Christmas, this is upside down. This is a Christmas cushion and it is embroidered. It says love, joy, Christmas, love, peace. It's got little toggly things on it. I think it's beautiful. Knitted, embroidered, whatever you want to call it. It's not printed on. It's high quality. You can unzip it. Yes, you can. You can unzip it to wash it. Right? How much do you think? How much do you think I paid for this? You can probably see. Like, let's talk about how much it was originally. Originally, this one, £20. Yeah? I paid £2. £2. Kid you not. Again, I will prove. I will not have anyone saying it was not true. £2. I had to stop myself. They had a load. Oh my goodness. They had a polar bear one that I loved. They had ones with bells on. Dreaming of Christmas cushions. But no, I just got this one. Well, I'm now going to insert footage of one that I bought for my mum that has robins on, and they're not crocheted. I can't remember what they were called. It was like a knot stitch or something where you actually hand knot the little robins. I'll insert the footage. This cushion was £5. My mum loves robins. She's obsessed. Well, she's not obsessed, I suppose. She just likes them. She's not obsessed. This was £5, and when I peeled the ticket off, it was £35 and I paid a £5. You can't go wrong. I was going to keep it. Should have kept it for Mother's Day or something, but I just thought, you know, I gave it to her. She's got it. It's gone. Just because it's nice to cheer people up, but she was very, very happy with it, and it was £5. I'm very happy with this one. And because I'm not allowed to have cushions. I'm joking, by the way. I'll do what I like. If I want cushions, I'll have them, but Stevie isn't a fan. And I'm just the kind of person that loves to buy stuff for other people. I prefer it to getting stuff. I prefer to buy stuff than get stuff. I got this. I love it. I might not let it go. I do love it. So it's this beautiful cushion. Listen. Can you hear how crinkly it is? It's got this gorgeous red velvet back. It's got a zip so you can wash it. It's got little bubbles down the sides. And it has these 3 dogs in Christmas hats. And it says Merry Christmas. I absolutely love it. But my sister-in-law has a pug. She has a French bulldog and a pug, and I don't have a pug, so I feel like this would be a nice thing to do as a sister-in-law. I'm gifting it. Shelley, if you're watching, this is for you. If you're not watching, good, because then you won't know it's reduced and I can pretend I paid a lot of money. This was, again, £2. £2! So this is going, I'm going to give it to her now. No, she doesn't have to wait till Christmas. But I think this one, when we looked, was £14.99. £14.99. And I got it for £2. And I love it. And I might give it to my sister-in-law, but I might keep it for myself. Next up, I got this 12 Days of Christmas. I will try and speed it up for you. I'm sorry if I'm taking too long. 12 Days of... I'm sure you've all got more interesting things to watch on the internet than what I bought in TK Maxx. 12 Days of Christmas, 12 interlocking metal puzzles and more. Product genius. It contains 12 of these funny little metal puzzle things, which would be great for one of my children, probably my 12-year-old. And it was £1.10. £1.10. There you go. There's the sticker. £1.10. It's like a little advent calendar with 12 doors in it. So I just £1.10. That's going away for Christmas. I got 2 books. I got a hardback book and a paperback. One was Taylor Jenkins Reid, a really, really new one. And one was Colleen Hoover, which I have talked about already. And I paid ridiculous prices, like £2.60. They're brand new books. But I'm not showing you those now. I will show you those in my haul when I do my book haul, because otherwise I won't have anything to show you. It was a lot of Christmas stuff. It's like an after Christmas sale, not after Christmas. So I like crafting, making things, making stuff look pretty, homemade gifts, that kind of thing. So I got these. I'm not even sure how many are in here. I'm thinking 6. They are these little bags. They're brown paper bags, and they've got little stars going down them, and they come with these little gold clips. And what you do is you fold the bag over, and then you use one of the little clips, either a heart or a star, and you seal the bag with it. Thought that would be so nice if I make some soaps or my own candles.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, would you? If I make my own soaps or little candles, or even just like a little sweet like Christmas pick and mix or something, or not even for Christmas, like these would be ideal for someone's birthday. 30 pence. 30 pence, like honestly cannot believe it. 30p. So I've got 2, obviously. Next up, I got some Christmas cards. I actually bought these full price. I didn't buy these full price. I bought some full price this year from this exact brand. This is Clementine Paper Incorporated, and there are 16 cards and envelopes. They're 100% recycled. There are 16 in here. They're beautiful quality, and I paid 60 pence. So before Christmas, I went into TK Maxx. I saw Christmas bedding. I'm not really a Christmas bedding person. I was gonna buy it, I didn't buy it. I fell in love with it, I decided not to. I thought it was a waste of money. It was reduced, so I bought it. I got this Wellesley Manor single duvet set, Christmas edition. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see on camera. It's like a little scene. There's little people, there's little houses, there's wreaths in the windows, there's old-fashioned street lamp. You see the picture there? I mean, it's just a little tiny Christmas village scene. This was £3. This is a single, so one of my children is just gonna have to put up with having this on at Christmas. The best part, they had another one in adult size. This one is even better. It's got adults on it. It's got trees. It reminds me a little bit of like a New York scene. I'll try and show you closer, but the thing with this one, right, I'm gonna tell you, it ended up being £2.50. I walked around, I picked it up and it was £4. I went upstairs, I came back down. The ones that were remaining on the shelf had been reduced from £4 to £2.50 while I was upstairs. So obviously I put the £4 one back and got one for £2.50. By Jingles and Joy, which I believe is who the wrapping paper's by. Yes, Jingles and Joy, the same people that made the wrapping paper have made this. And this is like a snowy scene. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. A snowy scene with little houses, and I just love it. It's like dark blue sky, the snow's falling, and then you've got this row of houses and shops, and there's buses, and there's like people walking. They're walking in the snow. And like there's little windows, and I just love it. This is a double, so this is for me for Christmas. This is going on our bed. I said to Steve, even if it just goes on for like the week over Christmas, we're having it, and we got it, and I'm thrilled. This I'm happy with. This is just the warmest, snuggliest blanket. It is so nice and cozy and warm. I thought it was brown in the shop. It's not. It's like a maroony colour. It's massive. Like, this is half of it. It's absolutely huge. I would say it's definitely, like, if you laid it out on a double bed size. It's the softest, like, knitted blanket I've ever felt. It's got tassels, and I basically just want to wear it. Like, I just want to, this is it. I want to wrap myself up in this, and I want to read my book, and I want a dog to cuddle me, preferably not the white one though, because you get hair all over it. By a company called Gallery Home, leading by design. This was, when I looked at the original price, £24.99, and I got it for £4. I mean, obviously I'm not going to wear it. It's a blanket. That didn't go well, did it? It's a blanket, but it's the softest, nicest, snuggliest, hugest blanket. £4. Okay, more bargains. So our toilet roll holder was like a rope thing, a nice looking piece of rope. That makes it sound really, really rubbish. My bathroom looked quite nice. Basically it frayed, it broke, boys pulled it off. So I got this new luxury toilet roll holder. So it's got like a gold square. I've got 2 gold mirrors in my bathroom. It's that kind of theme, like dark wood, dark grey. We got like a black. So I bought this with the black like pole and the gold fixings. This should have been, I think, £10. I picked it up, it was £2. I took it upstairs, I walked around with it, I came back down. They had reduced the rest of them to £1.30. So obviously I put the £2 one back, and I picked up the £1.30 one. They also had the towel holder, which is the same. It's black, it's like wrought iron, and it's got a really nice solid gold fitting that will go on the wall. This the same, was I think £10 or £12. I walked around with it for £2, came back and it was £1.30, so I'll put that back and change that for the cheaper one as well.
I didn't catch that.
No, you didn't.
Could you try again?
No. So if you know me, if you follow me, I am obsessed with notebooks. I use them, to be fair. Where is my other one? I don't know. I've lost one. Okay, I'll go find that. To be fair, I use notebooks for work all the time. I have a filming schedule notebook. I have an invoices brands notebook. I have a recipe notebook. I have a shopping notebook. I have a content planning notebook. Yeah, I have notebooks like everywhere. Notebooks. I'm obsessed. I use them. I buy them. I spend a fortune on them. I am missing a notebook. Where is the other one? I'm using it. This is literally the notebook and I was just talking about. I've already been writing in it. I got these beautiful notebooks that were from a company called Fringe. They're the spiral bound ones, which is great because you can open them up. So when you're writing, you can either fold them back on themselves, you can open them up. And the best thing about this one is that not only does it have a front page with pocket, it also has margins. I'm very sad. And somewhere to write the date. This beautiful notebook was 90p. I got that one. I also got this one. This one was actually £1.10 because this is the artist series featuring Walker Noble Studios. So I got that one. Then I also got, because I just couldn't stop, I picked up this one. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. It's glittery, it's golden, there's a lot of sparkle, and it says the more the merrier. I was like, wow, that's quite fancy. Probably don't really need it. Turned it around. It's by Kate Spade. I have a Kate Spade notebook. It was 60p, okay? This Kate Spade notebook was 60p. Now, I don't know who uses a Kate Spade notebook. I don't know who would go into Kate Spade and think, I'm gonna buy a notebook. Because yeah, I have no idea how much Kate Spade notebook would be in Kate Spade, but yeah. You just don't, do you? You just don't think, oh, I need a notebook. Should I go to WH Smith? Should I go to the pound shop? No, I'll go to Kate Spade. I am 100% going to write my shopping list in it, and do you know why? Because I'm going to walk around the shop like this. Like, I need something. Not sure what I need. I'm just going to look in my Kate Spade notebook and find out how many loaves of bread I need to get. You know, you've got to, haven't you? I've got to walk around, or I don't know, I've got to get it out somewhere, like when I'm sitting waiting for a train. I'm just going to get it out, like see what I'm up to today. Look at all my plans for the day. Another notebook, just a grey one. It's got lines, it's spiral bound. 50p this one was. This one is so cute though. I mean, this one is by Millie Green, and look at that, it just says notebook, but for 70p it will do. This is a big one, and this could be used for a journal. This has got all the star signs on, and I'm a Gemini. I'm right up here. And yeah, it's just a nice big page notebook. It has a tassel to keep in your place. And like I said, that one was 90p. Last but not least, in TK Maxx, you're either going to love it or hate it. I saw this, I fell in love with it. I tried it on, I turned around and said to my mum, do you like it? And she said, no, I hate it. And so I bought it anyway. Sorry mum, I know you really don't like it. It is a Jaden Smith and G-Star Raw collaboration. So that's what it says there. Apparently it is 100% recycled. It is gold certified denim fabric. It's developed with Raw for the Planet Indigo, the cleanest indigo technology ever formulated. There's 70% less chemicals, there's less salt, and apparently it says this garment has been repaired with precision and craftsmanship. It is individually numbered to represent a unique combination of restoration techniques. So that is probably why this jacket was £295. Now I'll try and put a shot in of me wearing it. It is a denim jacket. It's got aged bits and pieces, the cuffs are aged, and it's such a nice soft denim. It's reasonably short. It is a 2XS, so it's a nice fit. It's not oversized. I absolutely love it. I love anything a little bit unique, a little bit different. And the back is the best part. I mean, it says Raw. I don't know if you can see that. It has got a mountain and a waterfall on the back, and it's got little huts. You can see the little huts on there. I absolutely love it. This is me. Like, if you could have made a jacket for me, this is it. I love alternative. This with my DMs and a pair of black leggings and like a white vest top. I just think it makes a statement without being too out there. Well, unless you turn around. I just love it. Anyway, it was £295. TK Maxx were very kindly selling it for £130. I got it for £13. 13. It was £300 when this was designed and brought off the production line or hand stitched, whatever they did with it. This was supposed to be £300. This was in the shops at £300, and then TK Maxx got them and sold them for 130, and then they had this one left. Probably have another angle change because the battery keeps dying, so I'm talking so long. So I got that for £13. I'm absolutely in love with it. I also got, like I said, 2 books that I'll put in another haul. And what else? Oh, I got this jumper. I will try and show you this standing up as well. This is from River Island. You see it's like got the torn sleeves, it's faded, it's aged, it's bobbly, the seams are all very much like on the jacket. This was 30, I've got the label, this was £36, then it was down to £28, and then in their final sale I got it for £10. And I love it, I absolutely love it. I'll try and show you it standing up, not flapping. But yeah, that is all the bargains I got in TK Maxx. I'm really, really happy. And yeah, my soup's ready for lunch, so I'm gonna go and eat that because I'm hungry.